Hi, Mitch. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Good. Okay.
Sorry, I was just finishing up a phone call as you let me into the room.
Yeah, no worries. I've got the polling set up. Just let me know whenever you want me to activate it.
Yeah, well, let's see. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think, you'll know the right time. Probably
Okay.
we're talking about, who's heard of the pivot and that sort of stuff, right? So.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Awesome. Cool beans. It looks like we have an Io on, a Corey on, and a Bernard on.
Yes.
How y'all doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I rock. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Let me get some video on. I don't know why I turned it off. I would say I'm better looking in person. That's a surprise. So it's also fun to have everybody have their cameras on. Let's see what you look like. Let's see your PJs.
All right, 1 second. I have to switch from a phone to a laptop, so it might take me a second.
So I see Brandon. I see we got two of you on there. Brandon, is the other one Nicole?
It's actually both me. I'm managing the call through my desktop computer, but I have my iPad for sound.
Okay then. And apparently Terence sells houses.
Yes, he does.
Awesome. Love that.
Corey.
Hi, Corey. Turn on your sound, girl, so we can hear you.
Hi, how are you all doing today?
We're awesome. How about you?
I wasn't prepared to be on video today. I was gonna participate blindly, but hi.
There's no reason why you can't participate on video with that smile.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the training.
Good. Well, we're going to have some fun today. As you can tell, I'm already kind of silly in that regard.
Great. I love it.
Hey, Jeffrey. How are you? Good. You know your sound's on, so you can actually talk.
You're right. It is. I'm going to mute.
There we go. Cool. We'll be getting started here shortly. Hi, Heather.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon.
Good morning. Good
nice
morning.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. All right. And Brandon's got his smiling face on now, too.
I do.
Hi,
Excellent.
everybody.
Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Oh, Nicole, look at you with the background on.
Mitch, so nice to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you as well. And look at you with your fancy Keller Williams background.
Oh, these are on Connect. You just go into KW Connect and search Zoom backgrounds.
Yep.
And they have a bunch. They're super
They're
cool.
way cool. I have them too.
They're really nice.
It's just my current laptop is not got the capabilities of having them, so I have my granddaughter's painting in the back instead. And then
super cool.
my new laptop, which is on the charge right now, will take it. So I'll be able to do that here going forward. It's just not ready.
But
Cool.
They're good. They're good.
So it looks like gang's all here, huh? What do you think?
You know what? I will tell you, just from leading twice a week, it takes about 5 minutes.
And there's a text that just went out. Mitch just sent out a text with the link to the entire roster, so we may have a few more people joining in the next few minutes.
That's fine. We'll give everybody a couple of minutes, and we'll kind of roll through it about 5. How's that?
Good morning.
Good.
Happy Monday.
Hi, guys. Corey, hey, you guys.
Hi.
I want to introduce Corey. Will you wave to everybody? Corey just joined our market center last week, right?
Last week, yeah.
She's come to us from Compass. She is a go-getter. We're excited to have you. So we wanted to welcome you.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you. I'm super excited.
You will find it's the best decision you've ever made.
I think that you're right. I'm feeling that already.
Well, you know what's fun is I joined Keller Williams myself personally. It'll be 11 years in September.
Wow.
And I've been selling real estate it'll be 33 in December.
That's beautiful.
So what I figured out is that the company that I always wanted to have is what Keller Williams is. And all it really takes is plugging into the systems and the models and the and participate in stuff like team meetings and trainings and those kinds of things that will make it definitely worth your while.
I agree. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited about it.
Good, you should be. This is going to be quite the journey for you.
All right, let's do it.
Excellent. Well, you guys just let me know when you're ready for me to start flapping my gums, although as you can already tell, I don't usually wait to be told.
It's awesome. Let's see. You want to give maybe another minute or two? Let's see.
Lanisha hasn't said anything. If you don't have your camera, go ahead and flip it on so we can see your smile. This is fun. Oh, there he goes. Michael's in. And there's one, Michael.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How's everybody this Monday?
So far, so good.
Happy Monday.
Spectacular, actually.
Outstanding. Happy Monday.
Actually, it doesn't make any difference. Today is like another Sunday.
It looks like, and Lanisha said she's got her kid loud in the background, so she'll be listening on mute, but she did chat with us in the chat box. There we go. All right, I think Mitch, the text has been out to everybody, so I think we got 16 people, and you can go ahead and start.
Fantastic. Well, first off, thanks a lot for being here, guys. As you may or may not know, we're going to talk about some things I believe that will help you stay in relevance with your database, with your clients, the people that already know you, like you, trust you, and love you, right? And let me just kind of set a little bit of a ground rule for you guys. First off, I like lots of participation. Can you tell already?
Yep.
And the best way to do that is real simple. Just you can keep yourself on mute, and then when you get ready to have a conversation or say something or contribute, just hit the sound bar and then shout out your name, and then I'll call on you or put it into the text, the chat box, and we'll keep an eye on that as best we can as well. As a matter of fact, Brandon, if you could help me just kind of keep an eye on that chat box like you just did a moment ago to ensure I don't miss somebody, I'd really appreciate that. Would you do that for me?
I will.
I appreciate that. Cool. So relevance, how do we do that? Well, the first thing I'd like to know is really what you have done already. Has everybody already made what we would call the care call to their client in their database? Everybody is checking on them.
Yes.
Right? Probably sounded like, hey, this is me and I'm from Keller Williams. I'm calling to make sure you have 6,000 rolls of toilet paper and 3,000 bottles of water. Y'all good? And they said whatever they said, right?
Yes.
So show your hands if that was a yes. Okay, so if you have not done that, certainly that's probably the first thing you need to do next. As soon as you can, just start calling people up and letting them know that you care about them, okay? Because we're in a day and age where real estate is no longer about a transaction. It's about relationship. You guys agree with me? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Yeah, it is a relationship business, both on the side of our buyers and sellers, and believe it or not, on the side of other agents. How many of you have contacted other real estate agents and had that same conversation? That you care about them, you want to make sure that they're safe?
A couple.
Yeah, it's important. And the reason why that's important is because we don't do this alone. How about your, yes, go ahead. Oh, she was just gonna.
Let's see who's on.
I didn't hear you. Okay, she may not be speaking with me. Good. All right. So it's important to remember that we don't do this alone. And we don't just do it with buyers and sellers.
Somebody's got a description thing going on.
Cool. Brandon.
All right, good. So it's important to remember we don't do this by ourselves. We've got lenders in our world, escrow, title, we've got home inspectors, we've got other professionals we do business with. So it's important that we reach out to everybody in our sphere and at least have that caring conversation, okay? Now let's just assume that that's already been done. What do we do next? Well, here's something that I keep hearing over and over and over again, that we must offer facts and we must keep our opinions out of what our communications are. As an example, let's not get caught up in whether or not we agree with the hibernation and quarantines or not. Right? See, it's not our place to subject our opinions to our clients. What our jobs are is to relay as much factual data as possible. Where would be the best place to get factual data with regards to what's going on in the quarantine? Who wants to share what they think?
The CDC.
That is correctamundo. Good job, Terence. The CDC. And the reason why it's important to go straight to the source is because every other news source is not news, it's opinion and hyperbole. So we want to make sure we only focus on the facts, not opinions. Right? That's one way to make sure that you stay in relationship with people. All right. So the next thing that we could think about is offering something of value. So you made that call. Now you get to give value. So let's talk about what the next conversation, the next information, the next whatever it happens to be. Go ahead and unmute yourself if you've got an idea of what you can contribute to your clients and database in the way of value. This is a true mastermind, so go ahead and share. What do you got?
Sometimes I give a report, like a market report or a status report.
Sir, your microphone is away from your face enough that we can't hear you well. So do you want to, there you go.
Can you hear me better now?
Much better, thank you.
Okay. What I send is like a market report, like from a bank. What I send right now is a Capital One and MIT study. It's just a report, like you know, a report that I send out to investors.
Okay, very good. So you're keeping them informed as to what's going on in the financial world, right?
Yes.
Excellent, good work. Who else?
Me?
Okay, Heather.
Hi. I ordered, I know this sounds cheesy, but I ordered these little webcam covers. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got my logo
webcam
on
is covered. I can't see it.
Can you see it?
Yeah, just giving you a hard time.
Well, well, I've been sending these out with handwritten notes, just letting everybody know that I'm thinking about them. And it's just a webcam cover that, since we're all doing so much Zooming, and people have really, really received it well. So it's been, and it wasn't that expensive. So I'm sending that out in addition to all of the paper and reports that we're doing as well.
Excellent. So you're contributing to their well-being and their security. Excellent. Good job. All right. Who else has another idea? What other things of value can we send? Yes, Adam. Hit the space.
Yeah, I share all the, you know, recently people concerned about the loan and, you know, kind of help from the government. As much as information I have received, I share with my client and my colleagues. So they were in touch, and then they appreciate that.
Good job. Very, very good. See, again, we're providing something that they might not think to go look for themselves. That's oftentimes of value. How about things like, are we sending them things on how to properly wash their hands? Are we sending them things on how to properly protect their children? Are we sending them articles on how to properly protect themselves when they go to the grocery store or have to go get gas? And who's not excited about the gas prices being lower these days? Whoop. Right? Who'd have thunk it? So think outside of the traditional box. See, we got people staying at home. They're stuck. Have you sent like family games that they can play with their kids? Have you sent them things that they can do in their home, like DIY projects that are relatively inexpensive and easy to take care of? See, none of this actually says real estate, and believe it or not, all of it says relationship. Because what you're demonstrating is through your efforts, you are showing them how much you care about them as a person, and that the real estate will come second. Now, Gary Keller has said from the very beginning of the onset of this shift that we need to focus on a model. Our mantra is service first, sales second. Service first, sales second. So now if we're thinking again of value, what else in terms of service first, sales second would bring value that doesn't necessarily scream, I'm a real estate agent. It does, however, scream, I'm here for you. So what else could we do? Because I know with all this many people on here, we got other great ideas. What else you got?
How to make a face cover out of a t-shirt.
Oh, there you go. Fantastic. That's a great idea, Terence. Now, could you create a video around that, not just an instruction booklet?
It's actually, I copied it from one of the websites and I'm sending it out as a digital attachment.
Excellent, excellent. Now, here's just a little word of caution when you do that. I personally rip off and disclose all over the place, meaning I got the R&D happening everywhere. Here's what I want you to remember. If you're going to take it from somebody else, always give them credit. So if you're going to send out an email, say, hey, I read this on so-and-so's. And it doesn't have to be even at the very top. It could just be at the bottom. Extracted from so-and-so's website. And the reason why you want to do that is because if you put the time together and you spent the effort to create something, you would want the credit referred back to you as well, right? So it's only fair if we're going to use somebody else's material that we give them credit. Here's the other thing I want to share with you just as a word of caution. If you're ever going to send anything out that has photographs in it of any kind, especially that of people, make sure you do not extract them from the internet without getting permission. Now, there have been plenty of agents out there who have done this and gotten away with it for years, yet it just takes that one time that you use a photograph that you don't have a license to use to get caught up into a lawsuit. And that becomes the problem. I personally buy all of my photographs that I use on a place called iStock.com. I'll put it in the thing, in the chat box. And the reason for that is once I own it, I own it. And then I can use it. They also have varying sizes and quality that you can use for different purposes. So this is a really great source. Now we're bringing value to the people. What else could be, now you've had that call, the first call, you've now sent them some information via email. What would be another thing that you could do with your database that would create a deeper bond or a stronger relationship? What else do you think you could do? Because relationships don't happen via email, do they, Corey?
No, they don't.
So
but
what
I was
else?
going to say, in addition to sending out, monthly newsletters, monthly, information, just to stay, keep in front of them, to stay in front of your clients.
Okay, and that's good. That's good. What would plus that up a bit, though? What would take it to the next level if we were truly going to want to be in a stronger rapport or a better relationship position? What else could we do on top of sending the newsletters and the emails and the newsletter in the hand or the postcards? What else could we do? What do you guys think? We have great tools available to us. What else could we do?
Maybe an online coffee. I've been reading about those as well. Just having the happy hours or even a coffee during the weekend, a Zoom chat, and just to, check in with people mentally. People are desperate to talk to other people right now. I know because I'm outside washing my car and a neighbor walks by, I'm like, hello, yay. So I think, being able to build that bond and really strengthen that, not coming from a place of I'm trying to sell something is super important. So I've been reading about doing online events with other people.
That's fantastic, Heather. Remember this, human beings, by their very nature, tend to be social. Even those of us that would be considered a high D in the DISC profile, we still are social people. That's what we are. So people are missing that. That's why, Heather, when they walk by and you're washing your car and they're not a zombie trying to eat you, you have a conversation with them, right?
Yes. Yeah. Excellent.
I keep wiggling my desk because I'm talking, I'm hitting it. So I'm going to back up so I don't do that. It's going to make you guys dizzy real quick. So So what kind of online events could you do? I think that's a wonderful idea. Now, just for whatever it's worth, I'll share with you a couple ideas that I've heard, and then maybe we'll open up to some ideas that maybe either you think of now, you've done, or you've heard of other people doing. So right now, this week, my team is hosting on Wednesday evening a class that's, what the heck is mortgage forbearance? That's the name of the class. What the heck is mortgage forbearance? And I sent it all out to my database, and I have my lender, one of my 3, somebody who's been licensed as long as me, she's going to join me. We're going to spend an hour just kind of going over the pros and cons of the mortgage forbearance. Well, that is going to be both helpful, social, and give them some really needed information to hopefully keep them from stepping into a big steamy pile of yuckiness if they do it without getting advice, right? Because that's a problem. Some people think that they can get a forbearance and all they have to do is call and say, okay, well, I'm not going to pay my payment for 3 months and just lump it, lender. It doesn't work that way. So we want to make sure that they understand that. We're scheduling a virtual party in June, and we're probably going to have multiples because my Zoom will only handle 500 people at a time, and I've got 4,000 people in my database. We're planning on having some live music. We're planning on, for people who participate, meaning they pre-register in advance, I plan on sending them a bottle of wine if they drink. If not, I'm going to send them 2 liters of soda. And the idea is to bring them in, have some fun, have a little bit of music, and more importantly, leverage this to dig a deeper relationship. Now, let's say, take for instance, I have 100 people at this party. Could it get a little unruly? Yeah, probably, right? One of the cool parts about Zoom is they give you an opportunity when you have a paid membership that you can actually put people into groups and go into their own little party rooms. And so what I can do is I can go into the little party rooms and then I can pop in, have a conversation with a group of say 10 or 12 and talk to them, and then move on to the next one. And I could seed it with a conversation piece. Like, right, I could do something really fun and say, okay, you are group number 3. And here's what we're going to do. Group number 3, I'm going to ask you guys to answer this question, only you can't answer it in the traditional way. You have to answer it in a poem. And then somebody's going to read the poem when we come back. Then I go to the next one and I say, okay, you guys get to do it. And maybe it's not a poem now, maybe it's a song or a chant. And the idea is to get those people kind of networking and having fun with one another like they would at a party. The difference is I'm not going to be controlling the whole thing in a big group. I'm controlling a bunch of little small groups that, again, gives me a chance to be in relationship with those people better. And it gives them a chance to network with one another because then they're going to find out, hey, what do you do? What do you do? Are you off work or are you working? Are you in the medical profession? What is, and it gives them a chance, right? So here are those couple ideas that I just shared with you. What else do you think you could do that would take this whole idea of a virtual coffee or a virtual happy hour to the next level? Yes, Jeffrey.
I do a weekly happy hour with, I've got a rotating group of about 30 people. People cycle in and cycle out.
Yep.
On average, there's 8 people every week. And last week we played Cards Against Humanity online.
That had to be a hoot.
There is, I just put the link in the chat box. And oh my goodness, it was fun. It was just a good time. So.
And that's an online version that you could play.
Yeah, and I put it in the chat box. So.
Oh, fantastic. That's fantastic. So if you haven't played Cards Against Humanity, folks, you better read up on it before you make the decision to do it with your clients. Because it can be a little rough. Good thinking, Jeffrey. Good thinking. And let me point something out. He mentioned that people cycle in and cycle out. Here's the key, and you probably recognize this already, Jeffrey, is that consistency of having the regularly scheduled time is probably the most important aspect of running that. Am I right? Give me a thumbs up so everybody knows. Yeah, exactly. It is consistency is a key because you're going to have some people who are going to show up regularly and you're going to have some people who are going to come and go. The main thing, if they know that they can count on it, you can plan, you'll start to see that number grow. Did it start out with 30 or did you start out with 5 or 6?
Oh, it started out with like, yeah, 8, and it just kind of grew, and, oh, can we invite this person? And, you know, I mean, I'm a more the merrier kind of guy. And so, yeah, it's kind of blossomed into this cool thing. And what I got really good feedback last week by one of my buddies. He was like, you know what? I look forward to this every Friday. I was like, that's great. You know, he's like, you know, really glad that I did it. And yeah, it's just been really cool because I am social, and God, I can't wait for all this shit to be over because I'm hugging every single one of you. All of you. Wait for it, because here it comes. You have it. I got you. I'm coming to your house too, Mitch.
Very good. Very good. That's a great idea. All right. Thank you, Jeffrey. Now, Michael, you had your hand up as well. Michael Berlin.
Yeah. One of my clients started trivia on Sunday mornings at 11, and he invited me. It started with his family, and then it's branched out to other people. When we were playing last week, there were people from Scotland, London, DC, Chicago, Texas, and it was cool. I mean, it was just, everybody was having fun and talking about just the game, just difficult trivia questions that they made up, and he had it all laid out. But I thought it was cool the way it brought people from all around the world together, and they're doing it on Sundays at 11. So it's like Jeffrey said, it's a consistent time that people know if you want to be part of this and you're invited in, then you can all interact with each other.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Could you, if somebody were on the group who you didn't know, could you leverage that opportunity to get some additional information and possibly add them to your database?
Yeah, potentially, because a lot of the group is his family or related people to him right now. He would he would refer me to them anyways. So it's a matter of more getting yourself known to those people while you're playing the game.
Absolutely. And the cool part about things like Zoom is you can send individual chats to each person, right? You can say something nice to them, hey, good job, or you can say it in front of everybody. The key is to leverage the tool, right?
Exactly.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Who else has another idea? Those are great ideas so far. What else we got? Yes, Heather.
Well, one of the things I've been working on is redoing my website. It's got a new facelift. I'm really excited about it. My husband, since he's a teacher, he hasn't been working, so I've have him helping me. And my website, you know, we're out in the public, and a lot of people aren't doing direct mail right now. So I have a whole direct mail campaign that's going on, but it won't make any sense for me to get to know these people and they go check me out and my website isn't on point. So we have been working on, you know, just having our resume tight so that when people do find out about us, that they have a place to land that's professional and it looks like I'm a full-time realtor all the time.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. What else could we do in the grand scheme of things as it relates to bringing value and deeper relationship with our clients using a medium like this? What else could we do? Well, how about this? How many people are out there currently homeschooling their children? Are there a lot? Could we offer, well, I know you're not, Jeffrey. Could we offer value there? Think about this for just a second. There's a couple of things that are going on when people are homeschooling. First off, are they probably losing their ever-loving minds and probably need a little bit of help? So could we maybe put a challenge out to people in our database who might be a teacher who would be willing to kind of do a group session, say for children in math or music or something of that nature that would help the parents? Could we possibly remember that at the end of a long day and fighting with their children, that the parents might just need a break? Maybe what we do is we offer them a break after dinner, between dinner and going to bed. Maybe there's story time for the children. You or somebody you love can dress up and be a character and read a book, or do sing-along songs with kids for 30 minutes just before they go to bed. Or maybe what you could do is do online karaoke. You go into YouTube and you search the karaoke stuff and you play it on your, you know, you share your screen and you share the audio and you do online karaoke. And you could do that both with children and adults at the same time or separate. The idea is if they're dealing with their children consistently, there's going to be a bit of fatigue, both on the part of the kids and the parents. So where could we get to the heart of the parents? Oftentimes that comes very quickly through getting to the heart of their children. And so that could be a good idea to do. I hear many people doing such things. So now I'm going to let it simmer a little bit there. So now you've got these great ideas and you're starting to use them. Should we only rely on these events, or should we continue to make contacts, like voice-to-voice contacts, one-to-one? What do you think? The answer is yes. As a matter of fact, this will never truly take the place of a phone call. What it does is it reinforces the other part of the emotional relationship that you have, because you're seen less as a person who's calling and always asking for business, and more as a person who's calling and cares about them and bringing value to them. So that what you're going to do is you put this into your schedule. Now, let me ask you this. What kinds of social media messages are you using to demonstrate the care that you have for your clients? And here's the next question. How many of you have put your clients into a special group into the social media, as in like Facebook? Do you know that there are subcategories that you can put each of your Facebook members into? So if you were to put up a post, you can direct it specifically to them. Are you aware of this? Is that a yes or a yes? Thumbs up. You all have your Facebook peeps divided into others? Yes. What was that, Terence?
That's the yes.
All right, good. All right, good. So you could, what kind of Facebook or social media messages could you send to your quote unquote database people that are in your social media that would demonstrate for them that you have interest in being in a deeper relationship with them? How about online links to very specific factual information? How about online links to your Zoom meetings that you want to have with them? All you're going to do in your social media is echo everything else that you're doing. So if you're going to send a message to them about, say, joining you for a great happy hour on Thursday, then that's the message that you would send. Now, here's the other thing I want to point out, and this is where it gets to be challenging. I know a lot of us like to post, you know, transactions and things that we're doing online. You know, we just found a home for this buyer, or we just sold this house for this seller. And unfortunately, there are people out there who are in pain right now. And they would like to buy, only just before they get ready to buy, the rug got pulled out from underneath them. Or they were just getting ready to accept their relocation and they were told that they can't have it. So now they're in pain. And what they're seeing is through your social media postings, how awesome you are and that you're still making money. Could that create a little consternation between you and them in your relationship? Of course it can, right? So here's what I'd like to share with you. As you are posting those things, please understand, I don't want you to think that you shouldn't be posting, because you should. What I'm asking you to do is be very conscious of what you are posting. So instead of saying, I sold this house and quote unquote, I made this much money, and I know we don't say that we do that, yet that's what's interpreted in the head. Maybe what you do is you use more like, I helped this family relocate in all of these times, or I helped this family in light of the COVID-19. We were still successful in helping them relocate so they could be safe. Be thinking about how you're saying the things you are saying in such a way that it'll be interpreted in the manner that you would wish it to be interpreted, not misinterpreted. Does that make sense to you guys? I would like to think so. All right, good. Then focus your social media. Now, here's the other thing. We've developed phone calls. We've reached out. We've done a care. We're doing an event. Can you agree with me that the real estate business, the way we used to do it, is never going to come back? It will not go back to the same old, same old. Well, there'll be similar things, right? I think our business has changed. I mean, talking with people like Gary Keller and my coaches and stuff, we'll go back to buying and selling. Yet, do you think the things that we're saying to them are different? The tools that we're going to use are going to be different? Do you think that now that people are more comfortable with this kind of Zoom conversation environment, that this could be a tool that you could use consistently? Yeah. So where else do you think you could use this tool? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? How about listing appointments? Could you use it with listing appointments? Who's taken a listing this way so far? Aside from me. Sandra, were you saying that you had? Or you just unmuted?
I just, sorry about that. I'm driving and I'm on here. I unmuted. I apologize.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Fine.
So
the only thing that I do have a suggestion. I don't know how possible it is, because there's a property that a client is interested in and it needs court confirmation. So I'm trying to get in contact with the attorneys to see if we could do a Zoom, or if they could communicate via Zoom with the executor, the administrator, to see if they could, get an approval, court confirmation approval with the judges. I don't know. I'm just trying to be creative. That's all.
Well, and I think that's what these times call for, right? Creativity. It calls from thinking outside of the traditional box.
Mm-hmm.
And I like where you're going with that.
Mm-hmm.
I see Mahogany actually had an appointment. Mahogany, was that a listing appointment or a buyer consultation?
It was a listing appointment. I'm still being considered. Will be the largest listing I've ever had. So good thoughts, please. But I was able to, I sent like the pre-listing packet and everything, through the usual way, was able to conduct it as if we were sitting at the kitchen table together. And it was certainly a step up from just a phone call, because you could have like an eyeball to eyeball situation. And it went really, really well. It went really, really well. I know they're interviewing other agents. It's an area that's not my usual, all the other stuff, but it was really no different than if you were sitting across the table, except I didn't have to get in the car and be stressed out and sweaty when I got to the house.
That's kind of cool, right?
Yes. Yes.
I love that you did that. Now, just for clarity's sake, I personally been using the Zoom technology for about 2.5 years since they came out, doing listing appointments this way. My personal niche is dead people and their families and non-owner occupieds. So I do a lot of probates, and I do a lot of people who are investors who don't live in their properties. And in Las Vegas, we're very blessed. 34% of the entire city is non-owner occupied houses. So I have a big group to draw from. Yeah, wow, I was right, Jeff. 34%. In my particular focus zip code, it's actually 37%. So it's pretty crazy. So I'm used to doing this. And this is the tool that I would advise that you get very comfortable using on a consistent basis. So I've taken probably, since we've been in this, I think I've taken 4 or 5 listings in the last 30 days using this technology. I have another appointment scheduled for Thursday morning using this technology. And practicing, yes, one second, Michael. Practicing and using it consistently is a great tool. Now, I would strongly urge that you not settle for the, oh my gosh, it's cheap, so I'm just going to go for the freebie. Maybe as you get used to it, yes, yet that will limit you for the amount of time that you can be in the Zoom and other tools that you won't have available to you. Yes, Michael.
I was just going to say something going forward that I think we all need to embrace is the virtual tour, because for $300, you can get a Matterport, floor plans, pictures. And I've had clients in this realm in the last 45 days tell me, if I could not drive 5 miles or 10 miles to go look at one listing and I could see a great virtual tour, it would save me so much time in LA with traffic and everything. And I've never embraced virtual tours, but going forward, I'm going to do that on every listing. I think it's so important.
That's a great idea. And for $300, offsetting a $12,000 to $15,000 average commission, that's probably a pretty good deal. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So get involved like that. Use those tools. here's the other thing is since we're starting to do this, shouldn't we have these little events ongoing forever now? Why would we only do them now in the time of COVID-19? Couldn't we actually add something like this in our schedule for like once a month even? Or like Jeffrey's doing every week. Got people coming and going. As long as he keeps advertising it to his people, it's unobtrusive, not obnoxious, and just an opportunity for them to play. And you know what? He could send it out for 6 months, and all of a sudden somebody says, you know what? I'm not doing anything on a Friday night. I'm going to get together with these folks and see what this is all about. And the next thing you know, he's got a deeper relationship with somebody because they're having fun. You know? So I would suggest that you keep doing these events. You keep using this technology to build your business. You find ways to deliver content and value to your clients in like none other. This is way different than a video. This is a live opportunity to interact that will bring you closer to your database at a much deeper level. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you would agree with me that the real estate business has been so good over the last couple of years that really many of us have ignored our fundamentals? Yeah, look at Juan raising his hand. He knows that was big and high there, boy. I can tell you, I'm with you. I'm with you. And I'm not just saying you guys. I'm saying all of us. Me as a producing agent, even though I'm on the road as a bold coach constantly, as a matter of fact, I use that as an excuse. No more. I personally have been going through my database, my command database over the last, let's just call it 4.5, 5 weeks. My assistant started at A and I started at Z, and we've been working in. We've gone from 4,600 down to just about 4,000 people in the database because we're eliminating people that don't belong in there. And secondly, I'm going to share something with you. I discovered somewhere close to 400 transactions that happened with some of those people that I did not do. 400. That's like 400. Now, if you've got a calculator handy, take it out and multiply 400 times 9,000. Actually, my average commission now has gone up. I'm at $10,963 per closed commission. How many of you just vomited when you heard how much money that was I lost? Is that gross or what? I learned a valuable lesson that when real estate markets get good, habits get sloppy. No doubt about it. And now we're in a market that is not as good, and those fundamentals that we were hiding under a rock are now starting to be shown. We're seen for all our tomfoolery and we're being like these real estate charlatans, like we claim to be, oh, I'm so good on my database, and we're not. We suck. And so now we have choices to make. The choice to make that you've already made the decision to be on this call, good idea. Because now you've got some ideas moving forward, right? Yes? Okay. And the main thing is ideas without action are just a bunch of ideas. So you're going to have to take some action. Now, I'm curious, how many of you have actually heard of the Bold Pivot program that's coming up? Okay, so a couple of you. Do me a favor, there's a little thing down at the bottom and it says reactions. If you're signed up, give me a thumbs up and just let it see up there. Let me see who's already signed up. Okay, there's a couple peeps. Not as many as I would have thought with as many on the call. All right. Here's why I'm bringing this up. One, first off, I'm a bold coach, so I love that stuff. The other thing is I'm becoming a mastery coach because I love that stuff. And I know we have an opportunity that's coming, and I know some of us go, oh my gosh, I don't want to know if I want to do it or not. I have found that most people have not signed up for it because they don't understand the relevance to their business. I'm going to read a passage from Shift so you guys understand why I think this is important that you sign up. I read this the other day. How many of you guys have seen this book before? How many? Keep your hands up if you've read it before, more than once. Okay, good. This is a very important book to our business. When a shift hits initially, everyone gets hit equally. The market doesn't discriminate, so all boats float lower. What happens first is equal and without choice. What happens next is unequal and determined by choice. And the reason why I wanted you to hear that is because I believe in my heart of hearts that every last person currently in today's market is starting at the same level. We're all at ground zero right now. I sold just about 50 houses last year, even being on the road. Probably should have sold a couple hundred, yet I use being on the road as an excuse. Yeah. Wasn't doing what I should have been doing. Yep. And now I'm in the same boat that everybody that did 6 or 7 houses did. We're all in the same place. So the difference maker is going to be the choices I make here forward. I've given you ideas, and you guys have shared ideas to make sure that you're going to take advantage of this market that we're in right now. Gary says through mind share, we can pick up market share, right? And so the mind share is through all the things we've talked about. Well, this bold pivot thing that's coming up, it launches tomorrow, is a mind share getting program. It's also a mindset delivering program. And I would like to just, if it's okay with you, Nicole, that I just share a couple of things about it. Is that all right with you?
Yeah. So can you tell everybody, what is it? What is Bold Pivot?
Love that you asked. Okay, so Bold Pivot is basically Bold 2.0 and Gary's 4 pivot points in today's market kind of put together in a very digital fashion. So it's going to be delivered through our live stream, and I'll share the times and all that stuff with you in the days of the week in a moment. It's about mindset. First and foremost, to getting to the place where we understand what we can and cannot control. It's, again, that service model or that mantra that I told you at the beginning. It's service first, sales second. How are we delivering on that? It's about removing expenses. I am very blessed that I have 2 mastery coaches. One of my mastery coaches about my business, and we went through all of my expenses and eliminated stuff that I should not have been spending money on and reduced my expense list. That's one of the things that Gary says to do on this, remargin your business, save your money, take out things that aren't generating a return. Well, now there's only 5,000 people who have MAPS Mastery coaches. So there's the 180,000 people who don't have them. So in Bold Pivot, we're going to go we're going to teach you how to save between $300 and $600 a month. We're going to give you the market of the moment scripts. How many of you do you agree that what we're talking about our clients today is different than what we were talking to our clients about 30 days ago? Yep. And is it a chance, Nicole, that the things we're talking about our clients today is going to be different in 90 days from today?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So we need the market of the moments. We need those scripts so we can communicate effectively. We're going to teach you social media and texting systems that are working. We're going to have people on there that are going to share their best practices on what's working for them via text. Now, if you have not already done so, you need to go into command and you need to connect your command to the Twilio, which is the texting feature. I love the fact that I can set up a campaign or a smart plan in there and it'll have an automatic thing that'll just send out a text on my behalf. And make sure that when you do so, this is just Mitch's tips now, right? My assistant went in, found me a phone number that has the same area code as my current cell phone number and the last 4 digits of my current cell phone number. So the only thing is different is the first 3 or the middle 3. So when people see it, immediately they start, oh, that's Mitch, because my last 4 is 0040, so it's easy to remember. And so they'll do that. So we're going to teach you those techniques, and they have worked for us. I'm going to I'm sure what they're going to do is have us doubling down on our leads. And what that means is Gary's been saying that if you intend to get what you wanted to get at the beginning of the year, it's going to take some extra time. If you were spending 2 hours a day, frankly, you're going to have to double that up because we don't change our goals, do we, Nicole?
Nope.
All we do is change our tactics to get our goals. See, when Keller Williams entered the last shift, and I was in the real estate business back then, like I told you, I've been doing this since the earth cooled. We were number 4 in the world as far as all the national chains, right? We were number 4 in the world, Keller Williams was. Who remembers what number we emerged from the last shift as? What did we come out? Numero uno, that's right. And the reason for that is simple. We didn't wait around for the business to change around us. We went and adapted to the changes that were already taking place. Bold Pivot is going to help you make those adaptations. Now, normal Bold, who's been to regular Bold before, or Bold Classic or Bold 2.0? Anybody? Okay, so a couple of you have.
I'm 5 times Bold.
How many?
5.
Sweet. That's outstanding. So with the bold pivot, it's different in that it's not really bold as much as it's a digital version of it. Yet normal bold is like $7.99. Bold pivot is $99 for 4 weeks. It works out to be like $5 an hour for coaching. It's ridiculous. And what it is on Tuesdays and Thursdays from, I guess it would be 12 noon to 2 p.m. Pacific time, because we're all in Pacific time, you and I. From 12 to 2 Pacific time will be the live stream of coaches delivering the content. By the way, I got to see tomorrow's session already today.
Mitch, I think it's 11. You sure it's not 11 to 1?
It's 11 to 1.
See,
it's 11 to 1.
No, it is 11. My apologies. You're right.
Okay.
Thank you. My apologies. It's 11 to 1.
I'm ready. That's why.
I've already had like 3 calls in different time zones this morning, so I'm kind of lost. Yes, you're right. 11 to 1 Pacific.
And then let me ask you this, Mitch. Can I ask you, who is this for? Is this for just like the new agent, the seasoned agent, the commercial agent? Who is this really geared toward?
Thank you. It's geared to anybody who's looking to get out of their own way. It's geared towards real estate agents, top producers who may have been fallen down on their fundamentals. It's good for new people who are looking to develop the habits and the fundamentals. I've got my first American home warranty guy coming. I got my couple of my escrow people coming. I've got a person who sells cars in the Midwest coming. Anybody who's in business for themselves will be able to join. And by the way, it's not just for Keller Williams. Anybody that you know that could work. So in other words, if you've got a friend at another company and they're struggling because their broker's hiding, they need to get in that room. Any other question, Nicole?
Let me think. I think that was all of them. So we talked about when it is. We talked about how much it is. We talked about what it is, who it's for. I think now the only question is, so who's on this call that isn't signed up but is going to sign up?
Yeah, just give me a yes on the in the remark backs. That would be great to give me an idea.
Because it's tomorrow, guys. So today is the day to get signed up.
Well, there's the chat box isn't moving too much, so I'm going to guess that
and so
everybody's already signed up.
I did think of another question, Mitch.
Yes, ma'am.
So my question is can you share with us a little bit about the kind of results people produce out of participating in Bold?
Okay, so thank you, Nicole. In traditional Bold fashion, when we meet one-on-one, we generally get somewhere around 14 contracts over 7 weeks. Now, when you think about the average person doing 7 contracts in a year, to get 14 contracts over 7 weeks, that's a pretty strong outlay. Now, I can't tell you that you're going to get 14 contracts in the 4 weeks of Bold Pivot. I can tell you this. If you participate in the Bold Pivot classes, you participate in the Bold Coaches Corner, you contribute and play on the Bold Pivot Facebook group, in addition to going there for the live streams and stuff, you will change your mindset and the trajectory of your business. And there's a good chance that when you do the activities that you're going to find business showing up. I'm personally gunning for 5 transactions out of participating as a student.
Awesome.
And I think when I get 5, and I'm a listings guy, so I'm going to focus on driving more listings to my business, because I know by the time we're done with May, most of the states are going to open up a lot more, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to sell those listings if I actually have those listings. Right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
So Mitch, I have a question.
Yes, please.
I have done regular Bold, where that's a lot of exercises and interaction with people on teams and such. So how will this be different when we're all on a Zoom call and there's thousands of people? Will it be groups? Will it be rooms? Will it be, can you give us a little bit about the format?
Yes, I can. Okay, so the information, like you normally have the coach standing at the front of the room sharing the info, that's going to be done in what we call a live stream. It's not going to be as interactive as obviously a live classroom, and it's going to be a little bit less interactive than a Zoom environment because it's going to be almost a one-way communication with some chat box stuff happening and people monitoring the chat boxes. That's the one thing. So that's how the material is going to be delivered. The interaction, activities, and making sure that we kind of play with one another, those are going to happen during the coaches' live streams on Wednesdays and Fridays at the same time. So it's basically 2 hours a day, Tuesday through Friday, with Tuesday and Thursday being the live stream and Wednesdays and Fridays being the coach's corner. That's where they'll do a deep dive in materials. They'll do a little bit more one-on-one coaching, 1-on-5 coaching. We have the ability to put people into different rooms and coaches being assigned to that. That's what we're looking at doing there. So that's where it'll differ. It won't be as tight like that. Now, I will say this. Nicole, depending upon the size of your people doing it, she may put you guys in teams on your market center. I don't know what she's got planned. Yet, if you guys really wanted to do that, she'd probably be willing to help you guys out.
Absolutely.
Do we answer your question, Michael?
Yep.
Fantastic. You already signed up?
I'm signing up today.
Excellent. Love to hear it. Who else has a question about anything that we talked about today? Nobody?
I have a question about the, I did bold before, but I know we have like kind of like workbooks or worksheets. How are we going to have, you know, homework activities to do, or are they going to be downloaded?
There'll be, first off, all the materials are going to be posted on Mondays, and I believe the material for tomorrow has already been posted up in the Bold Pivot Facebook group. By the way, I just want to stress this. Once you have signed up for Bold Pivot, you have got to go to the Bold Pivot May 2020 Facebook group and request membership. You'll need the number, I think it's a receipt or a reference number that you get in the email after you paid. You go there because one of the questions they're going to ask you, aside from do you agree to abide by the rules of engagement, what is your receipt number? Because that's how they're going to verify that the only people who can get into that group are people as part of the Bold Facebook. That's the only. If you haven't signed and paid for it, you don't get in. So that's where all the things are going to happen. So the materials have been posted there, if I'm not mistaken, and they'll be posted every Monday. As far as like homework goes, certainly it's going to be about contacts. Certainly there's going to be some need to, you know, probably track some appointments and listings taken and buyer sides taken and those sorts of things. Yet I do not foresee the homework being as intense as it is in a traditional bold room. Should you have an accountability partner? Sure. If you've got a coach, should you let them know? Absolutely. Someone I'm coaching this morning, we went over a game plan, what she's going to do and what she's going to be accountable to based on what she expects to get out of this bold pivot. So we made a plan. Now, here's the cool thing, and I didn't say this to you earlier, I'm going to say it to you now. All of the bold pivot live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be recorded. That's good news for those of you who are homeschooling, those of you who might be taking care of a parent, or some of us still have a job that you've got to go out to and you're still working that and you need to come home and watch the session later in the evening or the next morning. That way you don't miss anything. Or if you're like me, squirrel, you sometimes get distracted about stuff and you want to make sure that you're prepared and you can watch. Did I answer your question? Okay, I guess I answered Money's question. Anybody else? Yes, Nicole.
No, I just was just going to say thank you for leading this. It was super useful, and we're all super excited.
Good. I'm excited to have you guys participate as well. I'm going to do you one last thing before I go. I'm going to leave my phone number in the chat box in a second, and I'm going to leave it under a couple of conditions. The first one is that you do not give my phone number out to any real estate agent in Las Vegas. And the reason for that is because they will call me and ask me if my listings are available. And frankly, I have no idea. I pay an assistant, that's her job. And if they're constantly calling me, they're going to get very disappointed because I won't be answering those calls. So don't give it away. The other thing is I want to make sure that if you need it, you use it. And I'm not just talking now. If you've got questions about Bold Pivot, by all means, call me today. Yet, if you've got questions during Bold Pivot, call me. If you have questions after Bold Pivot, call me. If you decide you want to hire a coach, call me. That's what my number's for. And the last thing is if you got a great referral for Las Vegas, I'm up for that too.
Awesome.
So here's my cell phone number. That's my personal cell phone number. Just sits right here on the desk. And I wear a headset, so I'm on the calls too. So if you need anything else, I really do want you to feel like you can reach out. I got your back. And is it okay that I come by the next time I'm in your neck of the woods that I come by and say hi to you guys?
Of course.
You must.
Good. Well, I'll be out there in September for a Doobie Brothers concert at the Forum, so maybe I'll come in a day early and we'll hang out.
Oh my gosh, you have to.
That's my birthday month. It's a good time. Yay.
Awesome. Awesome.
We'll
awesome.
be in the new space too. Yay. Hopefully.
Yay. All right. Well, you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been great talking to y'all. And like I said, reach out should you need anything at all.
Thank you so much, Mitch.
Thank you guys.
One, is this, yes. Hell, assume that's your name. One. Gotcha. My name is, cool. I think so.